Well, welcome everybody to Vibe Check 101. I'm Jen Weir, and I'm here with my dear friend Brenda Chamness, and we are talking, sharing about frequency medicine, all things frequency, vibration. Bren's going to be going into some more deeper, not deeper. She literally just told me she's going an inch deep versus, super deep, but it's going to be deeper for us, right? Um, but what I wanted to do is have a little icebreaker. Do you guys remember doing icebreakers in corporate meetings? Anybody who ever did group meetings? I used to do that as a hairdresser when I taught hair color classes, and it was super fun because it kind of got you in the mood for what we were talking about. So, my icebreaker tonight for people watching later, it's probably a good idea if you participate even on your own. I'd love to know, go ahead and put it in the chat, or you can unmute yourself. If you could depict your day today, or even the last couple hours, in a song or a sound, what would that be? Tonight, I'm going to be sharing about how our bodies are like an orchestra. So I wanted to kind of get us in that idea of music and that vibration. So if your energy or mood from the day was that song or sound, what would it be? I was thinking about my own day, so I'll give you just mine, kind of get the ball rolling. But I was thinking like a jazz improv because I've had a lot of creativity today, but it's been a little chaotic because I'm always ping-ponging around doing a variety of things. So I would be jazz improv. Anybody else care to share?
I'll go next. So for those of you who don't know and don't know me, I'm a conspiracy realist. Um, so I have no theories left that haven't been proven now. And
New ones, I'm sure.
yes, I'll get new ones. My song would be because I'm an 80s girl, We Didn't Start the Fire by Billy Joel. And if you haven't read the lyrics, go back and read them because
Yeah,
they're on target with a lot of things. But it's kind of like we didn't start the fire, but we're darn sure going to put it out.
I love it. Just on that note, I don't know if you guys know, but I think it's Fall Out Boy. One of the newer bands did an updated version of that song, and it's
You
has
know what I really love
different ones.
is that now they're showing that you can put a fire out with frequency. Remember that in our group, that video?
Yep.
So
Yeah. That's that's probably a topic. I'm like, let's talk about that after we stop recording because I just had a whole bunch of thoughts. I'm like,
I'm sorry, I caused you to
keep
spin.
that there. Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody else want to share what song sound might depict their energy or mood from the day?
I'm not a song person.
How about a sound? Anything like that, Tina? No song person.
I'm not like I can't think of songs off the top of my head.
And
What
it's one of
color?
those that you might say, oh, that would have been a good one, like at 1 in the morning. You might just
Yeah,
come
that's
up.
exactly. But I've been running all day, so I
Okay,
don't know, something to do that.
there you go.
Plus, I was just finishing my eating, and it's like I gotta go. I gotta get on Zoom.
I'm so glad you're here. All right, anybody else? It is kind of a silly thing to think about, especially, and I love Tina that you said that you're not a song person, and I don't know that we really think of that way as our life in a soundtrack. But realistically, our life is a soundtrack. We just don't always hear it. And what I wanted to do with this little exercise, and as we go on, this hopefully will help trigger some more thoughts in your mind about music, about frequency, and about sound, because what I'm going to share tonight is really just about how our body is like this gorgeous orchestra. The Word of God says that we are the body of Christ for those of us who know God and know His Son. And so we are all in unison together doing that, but really our whole body in and of itself is like an orchestra. And this little exercise is a great reminder to help us think about how we're always vibrating on some level. whether it's a high vibration or a low vibration. And how many of you guys know, just a quick show of hands or like a thumbs up in the chat, that your vibration, the way that your body moves and how you feel energetically can shift in the blink of an eye? Right? I mean, you get some bad news, all of a sudden you were going great, and it's like, you kind of throw on the brakes. Or vice versa. Maybe you're just like kind of down in the dumps. All of a sudden, just something great happens. And that was me. Yesterday, I literally woke up sad, full disclosure. Sundays are hard for me. I miss my boys, and it's call day, and I don't know if I'm going to get a call, and I have to wait all day. It's like I feel like I'm waiting for a prom date that's never going to come, or they might come, you know? And when that phone rings, it's like, oh, I'm so happy. And funny enough, on that, I have special songs for each of my boys. So again, I paired that, it's triggered with music. So as we think about that tonight, thinking about songs and music, think about this for a moment. I love it, Anna. Yours can change 300 times a day. I know, right? It's like, it's a bit of a roller coaster. Think about this. How often do we look at what we can see or feel on the outside? I mean, just simply like it's summer. You probably look, it's like, what is the weather like outside? So I'm going to figure out what I'm going to wear on the outside. Tonight, I really want to get us thinking about the inside. We mentioned something about we're so used to thinking chemistry wise, and Bren's going to go over that in a little bit versus energetically. We go to the doctor if something hurts, or we start a diet because we want to reduce our weight or get a little bit more in shape. But what if the real change that we need, something that really causes health and wellness to elevate, begins with just a simple awareness of our vibration? I mean, if you think about how when we're vibrating low, everything else in our body is vibrating low and slow. And that's not always a good thing. We call that depression. And not necessarily that clinical depression, but things are more depressed. They're not elevated. They're not excited. They're not full of energy, full of vitality and life, all those wonderful words that we want to think, be, and feel and actually do. So there's a whole world of information that we'll share and we will keep sharing as we do these Vibe Check 101s, talking about vibration and frequency and patterns. So when we think about our body like an orchestra, everybody's body vibrates all the time, and every cell in our body vibrates different. Every organ has a different measurement of vibration. If you're familiar with essential oils, you know that every oil has a different vibration, right? We have our favorites, the high vibe ones, the rose, the black spruce, all of those, the Idaho blue spruce, and then we have the more down to earth ones. We've got, if you're used to Young Living, use grounding or even Valor. In fact, I put grounding on because I thought, oof, I feel a little chaotic. I need to be focused for you guys. We put Valor on our wrist to help balance this out. It's a lower frequency, but that doesn't always mean now we're low vibing. It just brings any kind of chaotic energy back into balance. So, how many of you guys have been to a symphony or seen an orchestra play? Yeah. So my least favorite time when I've gone is when they're warming up. I honestly, it bothers me because it's like, and everything is going not in symphony. It's a cacophony. Why? Because they're all tuning up, they're warming up, they're really not vibing together. That's not what they're supposed to do at that moment. And if you're like me and really in tune to music, that if you thought about it for a minute, you might not enjoy that time. Maybe it doesn't bother you like it bothers me, but you're not going to go, you know what? I hope I can find that on Spotify. That tuning up. Nobody, I don't think that I know of anybody that would look on Spotify and hopefully find that cacophony sound of an orchestra tuning up. It just doesn't sound good. But what happens when the conductor comes out? That's actually one of my favorite parts because he just commands so much respect, right? He walks in and he's like, tap, 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 tap. And what do? They'll just kind of look up and they get ready. They take a deep breath. And then he does his thing and they all beautifully at the same time start playing. And that to me is the simplest way. I'm a simple girl, guys. Anytime you sit in a class with me, especially when we talk about frequency, I'm going to give it to you so simply. But that is the most simple way to think about how frequencies work in our body. And I like to think of the AO scanner as like the conductor, kind of the conductor's ear, actually, because a conductor can hear if, the violins are off. The conductor can hear whether a viola should be playing or a violin. Now that's something that like I had to learn as we were homeschooling our kids, the difference between the two. And it's a marked difference if you're a conductor and or if you're a musician. And just like with our bodies, if you have maybe a little upset stomach more often, the conductor's ear needs to listen. Is that stress induced? Probably, a lot of times. A need for a probiotic? What's out of balance here? Your chakra's out of balance. We need to just line that up, drink some water. There's a whole host of things that come into play. Stress, toxins, emotional strain, even negative thinking can play a huge part in our body's music. But kind of like if you were here before we hit record and Brenda was saying, we want to look at the chemistry to see what's going on. But if we can look at the frequency and we can tune in, that's where we head things off of the past and do slight course corrections versus having to do massive shifts and invasive measures, right? So as you guys are thinking everywhere, highlighting, as you guys are thinking about that, imagine what it would be like to be able to look at reports daily, weekly, and just give notice, have an awareness and say, is this lining up with really how I'm feeling on a vibrational level? So often we go through our life and we don't think about how we're experiencing that life on a quantum level, on a vibrational level. And just before I hit record on this, I just saw a message coming across my phone and somebody was telling me, like, she said, there just seems to be this cloud over everything. Everybody that I'm coming in contact with, it feels off. And I just thought that was really interesting timing that that's the message I got today before we started this. And we might be so reactionary to think, oh, I don't know, this person is whatever being negative, or maybe I'm just in a bad mood. But if we can train ourselves to think energetically, things would shift dramatically in our own life. And when we start to think energetically and see, how can I shift my vibration? Imagine what that does to those that you come in contact with. And not only about that, I mean, forgetting about the loving your neighbor thing, but loving yourself and being able to say, I'm feeling quite low energy, and not in a low, like, you're tired, but just low vibration and looking for ways to raise that. So real quick, before I give it over to Bren, what is frequency medicine? Just as a refresher for those of you who maybe don't know anything about frequency and you've hopped on curious about it, to anybody who, yep, you could probably have a master's degree in frequency medicine, I would like to sit with you if you do have that. Let's talk. But again, a basic is, it's also called vibrational medicine, energy medicine. I've heard people talk about having, maybe light work, doing that, but whatever term you use, we're talking about frequency, vibrations. So this is a field that recognizes, as I mentioned, everything in the body and in nature vibrates. And it all vibrates at a specific frequency. And these can be measured and influenced. I love, Bren, that you said that they're finding that they can put fire, whoever they are, people put fires out with frequency. Imagine what you can do. I've seen reports and studies about blasting tumors with frequency. I mean, if you'd have told me that 20 years ago, I'd think, what? Except We all grew up watching Bugs Bunny, right? With the guy at the, speaking of symphony, the opera singer who shattered glass, who brought down the Hollywood Bowl. I mean, I know it's a cartoon, but it's based in truth. People who can sing at that level in the natural, not on a cartoon or animated or whatever, they're matching the vibration of that glass. And so it shatters. It's really pretty basic when we think about it. And the opportunities and options are endless for what we can do with it. At its core, frequency medicine is just based on the idea that everything resonates with its own healthy frequency. And when you're exposed to stress, trauma, negative emotions rather, those frequencies can become distorted. And that's what we want to avoid or correct, right? Um, we talk about different types of medicine, so I just want to include a couple in case somebody, you guys aren't real familiar. There's the pulse electric, I can't talk today. Pulse electromagnetic fields, PEMF, right? These can reduce inflammation, just to name one thing. I think, Bren, you're probably well more versed in that. I just tell Bren, I need my glowy disc. What one should I use? And she can tell you about the glowy disc. There's the bioresonance scanners like our AO scan when we talk about that. There's tuning forks. Some of you guys probably are very familiar with tuning forks, sound therapy, music. If you pop on YouTube and you look for the 528 frequency or 444 frequencies, there's tons and tons and tons of music now. It's trending. Why? Because people are demanding. Like, this is what I want. I want to be listening to something that can shift my vibration right now. I want to fall asleep to something that's actually going to heal my body as I sleep. I mean, imagine, right?
Yep.
Imagine. And then, of course, there's like frequencies, red light therapy, all of that kind of stuff. All of this is non-invasive. I'm a super huge fan of non-invasive because you guys probably all, if you're familiar with me at all for 5 minutes, the medical community is not my favorite, and I don't like them to be so invasive. I'm like, please step off. Step off there. To Pamela, to your story before we popped on there, a lot of times their first go-to is, let's just cut it out. Let's just rearrange your whole body. And I think, oh my gosh. I mean, quick story. My son, my oldest, who's now 24, when he was 9, he had malignant melanoma. So he did all this, resectioning and all on his neck. And about 6 months later, he had some lymph nodes under his armpit that were swollen. And of course, they're like, oh my gosh, it could be cancer. We have to take him in. You've got to remove those. I didn't know. I mean, as a mom, I'm scared to death. I didn't want it to come back, but I won't even bore you with all the nonsense they tried to put on us. So, of course, we got the lymph nodes removed. They did all the checks and whatever with the lymph nodes. All it was is drainage from the neck 6 months before. And I looked at this doctor. I said, you mean to tell me that my son had to have another surgery? We had to pay for another surgery, and we could have put lemon oil and castor oil on it for the weekend? We
Mhm.
could have done a wait and see program. No, we had to rush him in. And now, what you guys know about the lymph system, it totally rearranged his body there. I mean, those aren't accessory organs and glands. If they're diseased tissue, sure, maybe take them out. Of course, now I would probably do something way different.
Mhm.
But when you take them out just maybe, you're messing with the whole body. And so I just really enjoy having the non-invasive approach. So with that, I'm going to let my dear friend Bren do her portion of our time tonight.
So it's funny you should say that about the inclination to cut something out. Like we think we were born with spare parts. Right? Everything is essential, even the things that they deem non-essential, like your adenoids or your tonsils or your gallbladder. We know that if you have those things removed, you now are down a step or two or three on your immune system, firing on all cylinders. And so, we need to have a shift in our country toward integrative medicine. We are the best in the world as far as acute care. I mean, if you want a heart transplant, trust me when I say you want it in the United States. But if you have any kind of chronic issues, my gosh, Europe is where it's at, where they, if you know essential oils, where they have essential oils in their physician's desk reference. So we are behind the times in the US on anything alternative. I don't know why they call it alternative. It's really original medicine. We ought to call it OG.
Right.
Um, and they are alternative. They're the new guys on the block. But what I love about doing the frequency is I'm a stage four big C, and I'm not going to say that word because it'd probably get us, big C survivor twice. And, I did both. I, at one point, I walked out of the hospital against medical advice, having a doctor say I was going to die because I didn't do what he told me to do as he was trying to pump drugs into me. And got cleared of that. And then the next time I actually did do a very, very mild would work as well as the very, very toxic one that they wanted to give me medication wise. So I'm not somebody that says one or the other. I think you need to ask the Lord. I was looking at what Anna said. I love that. I pray about it and ask the Lord which frequency I need. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
That's what you do. You don't assume that you know what's best. You look at all the tools and all the options and you go, Jesus, what's the way forward? What's the path? So, that being said, one of the things that I used and did discover during my first bout was frequency. And I would go to my doctor's office, my naturopath's office, and spend hours doing frequency. And let me tell you, it worked, and I had clinical proof because I had scans that showed reduction in size of the thing.
Hmm.
So I'm very passionate about this. Now, that being said, frequency is not chemistry. So we have to have a mind shift when we're talking about looking at a scan. And Jen, I know we talked about scanning somebody. Are we
Hmm.
still planning to do that? Do
If
we
we have a
have
volunteer,
Do
yeah,
we
I'd
have
love
a
to.
volunteer? Does anybody want to be scanned? Because, okay, several. All right.
Awesome.
Well, okay. Who does not have a scanner? You don't have a scanner, Tina? Okay. And what about you, Pamela? Do you still have your scanner? Okay. So if you want to send me a scan, I'll help you on the side. And Tina, we're gonna let you be in the hot seat if that's okay. What? Yes?
Sure.
Okay. All right. So the thing is I'm going to share my screen and I've got to find a screen to share. Let's see.
Oh, did I need to? I'm sorry. I think I might need to do something on my end.
I don't know, maybe. It looks like I can share.
Yeah.
Did you make me a,
I'm making you a host anyway.
okay. Am I that now?
Hmm.
Okay. All right. That thing. Okay. So there we go. All right, Tina, so you're going to get to see, we're going to do a vital scan right now. So the way that frequency works by distance. So obviously I'm here in Texas, and Tina, where are you?
In Ontario, Canada.
All right, Canadian Betty up there.
Yeah.
So what happens is the AO scan uses what's called scalar waves, and scalar waves are 0 point energy. What that means is that there is no distance in when it happens. So when a frequency is sent, it's received at the exact same time and it goes through what we call the quantum information field. Now, I know that's a lot of sciencey stuff that sounds a little woo-woo, but we don't think about it when we make a phone call, right? I could pick up the phone, Tina, and call you, and we watch right here where my phone rings, your phone rings. It's instant. So
Hmm.
this is even more so. What makes it possible, though, for me to scan you in particular and not everybody in Canada or between here and there? And it's those data points we put in. It's your name, your date of birth, your height, and your weight. Not your email, but the things that are personal, really personal to you, plus our connection. You are volunteering for this. And so what that means is that when we do the scan, the AO scan has a database of the perfect frequencies for all of your organs, all of your bones, all of your body systems, and it's going to scan against what is already present in your body. And then if there's something out of balance, it's going to show what's out of balance. Okay. So I'm trying to see, I think it takes a little while to do the food sensitivity. I'm going to cut that one out just because most people are not as interested in that one. So you can see there's a lot of things that it'll scan. It'll scan your blood like a blood plant panel. Your chakras, the energy centers in your body, which we know those are biblical energy centers that are not attached to religious stuff. So it's just kind of like I look at it like chakras are like your circuit breakers in your house. Your circuit breakers are attached to wires that go all through your home. What happens if you overload a circuit breaker?
Yeah.
Everything shuts down.
Everything shuts down. Yep.
So if you overload and you have too much energy in a chakra or a energy wheel, because that's what chakra means, is wheel, an energy center, then it can kind of short circuit some of the energy that goes through your body that's attached to that particular one. And then if it is too little energy, it's like you know how you get the flickery light when storms are out there and there's like power fluctuations. It's kind of like how if you don't have enough energy. But it's going to show you gastrointestinal functions, meridians, which we talked about, nutritional, physical functionality, and toxicities. We're going to go real fast, but I want you to see what it looks like when you scan. So here you go. You can tell us if you feel anything you may or may not.
Hmm.
Um, hmm.
Do I have to do anything?
Nope, just be receptive.
Just be me. Okay.
Be you. Mhm. So we're going to do this now. And you can see down at the bottom here what it's actually scanning at the moment.
Hmm. Very cool.
Extensive. Okay, so that was your scan. Now we're going to optimize the frequency. So whatever it found that was out of balance, the AO scan is now going to send the frequencies that would help correct those imbalances for you. Now, here's the thing. Some really direct ways of um, putting things back into balance are like when you use a substance, you take something internally, or even using topical oils and smells. Those are more direct. The scalar waves are very gentle. They're like a little nudge, not a shove. Okay. So the way that it works is these frequencies come into your biofield, which is the energetic field that you produce in your body, around your body, also an information field about you. And they will like send those frequencies into your field. And whatever you're able to receive for correction, you will receive. Sometimes we resist having things corrected because we're stuck emotionally, and that emotion is tied to an organ, and that organ's out of balance. And until we get the emotional healing we need, then we're not going to have that come into balance. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
we'll see some of that probably because everybody does, but we're going to get to watch the frequencies now.
And hear it too.
Oh, yeah, I
Can hear
could
it.
tell, like, can you hear this? Yeah.
It's funny on this, it's not as loud and like when you're doing it normally,
Yeah.
it's nice.
So
Yes.
this is sending frequencies now to,
Yes. Sending frequencies now.
well, my brain's very pretty colors.
Yes, it is. It's very colorful. Okay. So now you see at the bottom, there are two reports we can look at. One is enhanced and one is classic. We're going to look at the classic first because it's
Your
not.
voice went down quite low.
Oh, did it? Oh, well, can you
Huh.
hear me now?
Very, very
Very
quiet.
low, yeah.
Oh,
Ah,
I
I,
heard Jen.
yeah, I don't know why.
Oh, there
It's
you go.
That's
Now
better.
you're back.
okay.
Now you're
Maybe
back. That
it
was weird.
probably lowered it because of the sound and thinking that was background noise that it needed to lower.
Okay.
Okay,
Yep.
so I'm going to move this over here a little bit. All right, so this is your classic report. It's just going to show things that are in balance and out of balance, in range and out of range. So the previous scan here, this gray area, that's the first one we did. And then where it says current scan, that's after optimization. Okay.
Oh,
Okay. So the first one was when you saw it go over the body.
yeah. Yeah.
It's what it showed. And then the second one is after it optimized. So one of the things you can see right away under the blood lipids is your HDL was out of balance and now it's back in balance.
Wow. So my
So,
cholesterol, it's looking overall is not good.
well,
Would that be
it's
because I just ate or
it
no?
could be. Yes, see, already you're getting it.
Okay.
So looking at energy, not chemistry. So yes, because you just ate, you're probably digesting fats. And yes, it could mean that that's all it was. And because it optimized so quickly, it's
Mhm.
probably what that was.
Okay.
You could see it immediately fixed everything.
Yeah.
And so
Perfect.
as you go down, you can see these are the things that are measured. Blood lipids 2, which are some more of the blood panels. I'm not going to go into all of these, but I do have a document for our education group, for our AO scan users. I have a document that explains all your blood work and what it means. And so instead of having to like go, I don't know what all this is, you can just go down the document and say, oh, that's what this means.
That's cool.
So I didn't know if I said I'm a naturopath and I have a practice here in Texas. So neutrophils look a little bit out of balance, could be low, could be high. Platelets, listen, this time of year with all of the allergens, with all of the little spring colds and summer colds and things, it could be anything. The hematocrit, oh, and that's the other thing. If you click on one of these many times, it will pop up with what it means. So your hematocrit is a measured percentage of your total blood volume that consists of red blood cells.
Hmm.
So this is your mean corpuscle hemoglobin. I know these don't matter. These don't mean a lot to most people because they're not used to reading blood work. So I don't want to go into all of the meanings of these things. If I see anything, I promise you, Tina, if I see anything you need to know, I'll be like, hey, call me, girl. You need to see
Okay.
a doctor.
Thank you.
But don't be concerned about seeing all this because any time of day we could fluctuate energetically. What we look at with the scans is we look for patterns. So you would be, if you had a scanner, you would scan yourself maybe once a week. And if you kept seeing some things week in, week out, that's where you go, okay, I'm having these symptoms and I'm seeing these indicators. Probably should go get blood work or go get an exam. But in the meantime, many times things disappear because the scanner is able to correct that imbalance before it leads to actually manifesting in the body.
So does it save scan after scan after scan so you can compare?
It doesn't, they do not save your data,
Okay.
which I like actually in this day and age. I mean, 23andMe, anybody? Um, but you will be able to scan and then email the report to yourself.
Okay.
So you'll have it, but you just have to keep up with it.
Okay.
So you can't go back and look like, oh, 5 scans ago, what was my number? You have to look at it yourself. Uh,
Okay.
but it's looking at the CBC panel, your fatty acids, um, all of these things. Now, here you see your chakra
Mm.
system. So,
Yes.
okay,
Yep.
what does this mean? That's the crown chakra. That is low. So it's low energy right now. Well, okay. It's what time is it there where you're at?
8:16.
Yeah, you've had a day.
A busy day and I didn't sleep last night.
Probably used your brain all day and you didn't sleep last night. So you might have low energy in the crown chakra right now. Not a big deal. However, it gives you this clue on the report. It says the crown chakra could be related to, don't let it scare you, migraines, brain tumors, coma, amnesia, nervous system, muscular system disorders, mental issues, skin disorders. Those are like the worst things.
Yep.
But but always listen, always go for the least terrible option first, right? Do not go straight to brain tumor, okay? Ever. I have people freak out. They're like, "Oh my gosh, it says I've got a brain tumor." I'm like, "No, it doesn't. You did."
No.
But this one you see in the throat chakra, that was corrected. So it just means that energetically, maybe the energy from maybe speaking, from doing whatever you've been doing today was tired, but then maybe you got a little energy from being on the call and participating. And that was corrected by the scanner.
Cool.
So, and then here are your meridians. So it's going to show you your meridians as well. Right now, see your stomach meridian is high energy.
It's working.
It is working. Yes, it is. You're such a good test subject. Uh, absolutely. Your spleen, your spleen is working, but it's probably able to quickly get into balance. Kidney, a little bit of low energy, quickly into balance. And then the liver also, kidneys, liver, that's part of that um, removal of whatever you're not needing to absorb from your foods. And then the governing vessel is showing low, double low. So we always look at the doubles. So double high or double low. We want to look at those things. And again, you have the cheat sheet here that tells you what those are. So if you just go down to what was that, governing vessel? Yeah. So governing vessel. Um, so it covers all your other meridians. And, the fact that it's low energy right now is not surprising. It's evening, you've had all day, and you're now digesting food. Everything's kind of at a low point. So unless I saw a low energy governing vessel over and over again, I wouldn't be bothered by that because we could scan you in an hour and that could be either totally green or it could even be in the high range.
Okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
So digestive function, yep, you got a little digestion going on. Colon peristalsis, that's moving stuff through. Uh, Intestinal bacteria, yeah, it corrected easily. Small intestine, moving stuff through. The HSCRP, this is C-reactive protein. It's produced by the liver. And so it could be something because it's double red that I would say, yeah, watch that. Might be something. But I would say today it would be something you would go, okay, I'm going to put a little note and I'm going to watch that to see if that comes up again. As of right now, I will not be concerned at all. Okay.
Okay.
I've seen people's scans go from almost all red on that right side to almost all green all the time because they just corrected things to the point that they vibrated higher, like Jen said, which meant they were less susceptible to getting out of balance. The stronger your vibrational field is, the more likely you are to be stable and to not get knocked out of balance from being around EMF a lot, being around other people's toxic emotions, having your own toxic emotions. I know none of y'all do, but you know, worry, stress, all that. But the more you strengthen and stabilize your emotional field, the less susceptible you are to any of these other things. Let's see. Just going through your insulin resistance looks really good. Pancreas, that's probably again because you ate, there's food. So it shows you, you can see there's a lot of stuff here. Now, amino acids. Looks like a lot of amino acids are out of balance over here, but look, when you did the optimization, almost all of that got corrected. So again, it isn't chemistry, it's energy. You would want to see like, okay, are my amino acids coming up out of balance over and over again? If so, I might want to look, do I need a supplement? You know, what do I need to do to strengthen that to make sure that I'm getting all the amino acids I need? Likely, the more you scan, the more that would just be green all the time.
Okay.
Digestive enzymes, yeah, you got some going on because you're digesting. And there's my macro. See, you look your skin. Listen, your skin looks better than most people's I've done the first time because they think they're dying.
Oh, geez.
It's so red that they're freaked out. They're like, "Oh my gosh, look at all the stuff that's wrong with me." And I have to say, it's nothing's wrong with you. It's not that. But yours looks actually really good.
Cool. Thank
You've
you.
got a few little things that are out of balance, but we all do. And now MTHFR, that is that something you've ever had a
I,
diagnosis?
I don't know what that is.
That's a genetic anomaly that makes it difficult for you to process and absorb B vitamins, especially folate.
Oh, okay.
Probably not. I mean, if you've never heard of it and you've never had anybody say, "Hey, do you have this?" or then probably that is just energetically out of balance and it doesn't mean anything.
I don't go to a doctor very often, to be totally honest with you.
Either they asked me when I was diagnosed with the big C, like, who's your doctor? I'm like, I hadn't been to a doctor in 20 years. I don't know.
No,
I don't know
no.
if my doctor's
I
still
don't
alive.
like them.
You know what
I
I
don't
mean?
trust them.
Yeah. So these are your B vitamins. So this may be why that MTHFR showed up because it shows imbalance in B vitamins right now. Do you take vitamins?
I did. I even took them today. Yes, I
Okay.
take B vitamins.
Do you take them early? Do you take them in the morning?
Usually around lunch because
Okay.
I'm a morning person, so I
So
need it.
it
Yeah.
does look like there's a big issue. This is biotin and that's vitamin K. So, you know, if you were doing scans, I would look at this to make sure that you are absorbing your vitamins. Like this could be just energy today, could be very different tomorrow. But if it continues to show initially out of balance, even if it corrects, I would be like, huh, I wonder if this is the best B vitamin for me to be taking. Or I wonder if it's the best time for me to take it. Or I wonder if I need to take more,
Okay.
you know? And then there's some basic functionality. I'm always laughing at the mental clarity when mine's off. I'm like, yes, I have no mental clarity right now. Uh, but it is hypoxia is it is obviously your air, your oxygen. Vagal tone is off, so that's your vagus nerve, fight, flight, or freeze.
Okay.
I don't know, most people theirs is off. We live in a very stressful environment, and sometimes we're needing to continue to reset all the time. So, one thing you can do, by the way, just to reset your vagus nerve if it is causing a problem, is you could put your finger right here between your eyebrows and you just kind of circle around, put some pressure, circle around, and then push up with a
Push
little
up.
pressure. Yep, just push up, kind of like you're trying to pull your skin up, just right here between the eyes for a minute and then push up, and then right here between the eyes and then push up. You do that 3 or 4 times, and that'll help reset your vagus nerve till it gets back out. And most of us, our vagus nerve is kind of like your spine being out of balance. You need to keep correcting long enough for it to stay in balance because you're so used to being in fight, flight, or freeze that you automatically go back to it. It's comfortable. Bone and muscle, bone growth, bone mineral density, everything corrected. Dang, I want to know what you're doing. We're gonna have to talk. Because yours looks so good.
Young
Your
living supplements,
yes,
eating
I
healthy.
of course, of course. So you can see how everything optimized, but you could see how things were out of balance too.
Yeah.
Um, this is cardiovascular. Everything looks fine. Collagen, endocrine glands, eye health, lots and lots of energetic imbalance, but that gets corrected with the right frequencies. And so, what I would say is,
Huh.
what do you do? Like, what's
I'm
your
retired.
so? Are you around people out of the home in like?
Yep. Yep. I'm very social. I don't like to be by myself, so I keep myself busy.
So one thing is that well, we have this biofield,
Hmm.
and our biofields can cross each other, and so you can actually be influenced by somebody else's biofield. So their stuff can influence your frequency. That's why we don't take it to heart the first time we do a scan because it might not even be you. I had
Okay.
I had a client come in and her stuff kept coming up for autism. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. I don't know why, because I knew she didn't have autism. And she said, oh, my son has autism.
Come on.
Well, she's with
Oh,
him all day, every day. Of course, he's going to show up on her scan.
So can I just mention
interesting.
something on that, Bren? I don't know if this is talking out of turn because I don't want to go too deep, but one of the things that I have found really helpful is there's a portion in the Cepheid section, actually in the main scan too, where you can do an energetic clearing. So like broadcast a little clearing for yourself just to energetically just get everybody's gunk off of you if that's a thing, especially if you live with other people or like you're seeing people day in and day out. Um, that's just something I like to do. Like if you think about it using white Angelica, if the white Angelica can actually just like rid yourself, it's like
Mhm.
that. That may help just to what Bren's saying, but if you don't do that, it's so important to go, okay, wait, who was I around today? And we do pick up other people's stuff.
Oh,
And if,
yes, I do
And
somebody's
know that.
sick
Yeah.
and gosh, I live in
some people are
Massachusetts
worse.
where a lot of people are they got the stick and the poke. And I don't know if you've gotten there yet, Bren, but whenever I do that, all the COVID variants are high on mine. I'm like, well, yeah, because there's signs everywhere saying get vaccinated. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes. So, yes, definitely the clearing helps clear out your biofield from the energy and kind of just everything that's not you. And that's important whether you're out and about in public or even where you have your children or your parents or your spouse. And as your mom would say, even your pets. Jen, that was a
True.
new thought to me. Like, oh, my pets, they have emotions.
Yeah.
Of course they do. Oh, mine
Yeah,
have
of
left.
course they do, Pamela. Yes. So, anyway, you can just see there's a ton of information here. Obviously, we can't go over everything. I am going to email this to you.
Okay, thank you.
So don't worry, you'll get a copy. But you can see all of the things here that
So one went from green to red.
So from green, that's a great question. I love that question. So if you go from green to red, it means that your body borrowed from Peter to pay Paul. It decided that energy was more important to correct something else than to hold that field stable. And so I totally ignore that again, unless I see that as a consistent pattern. Now, if it's a pattern, it means that the thing that went from green to red was not really stable as a green to begin with.
Okay, that makes
Okay.
sense.
But I would only look at that just, over time. And here's the thing. This can be, that's why I said I only want to go a little deep. This can be as complex or as light as a user wants it to be. Everything we just did, it's going to do regardless of whether or not you understand all of this or not. It's going to correct.
Yeah.
And when you inhale an oil, you don't even know all the things it's doing in your body. You don't know all the things that were wrong before you did inhale the oil. But this is giving you some data points to kind of watch and keep up with while you are doing all those corrections. So for somebody like me, I want to look at these and compare them to somebody's symptoms and their history and their generational stuff. And, as a practitioner, I go deep with this because people come to me and want me to. But as a user, listen, I don't even look at mine. I don't. I'm like, I don't even need to know that. I just run it and let it fix stuff. So I don't
Wonderful.
want it to get overwhelming. It can get really overwhelming for people when they start looking like, I don't know what all this means. And how am I going to learn? I don't have time to learn all this. You don't need to. If you feel like, hey, I'm not seeing enough green on my scanner after I run stuff, then you can get with somebody like me because, I would be your go-to person. And I can look at it and go, okay, nothing to worry about. Or I could say, well, what are your symptoms? Let me see if those things are showing up on your scanner. So the thing that I think is scariest to people, green, 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 you're really good. Uh, I'm so glad too, because I was thinking, oh Lord Jesus, please don't let it be somebody that's got a ton of red stuff and I'm gonna have to talk them down off the cliff.
Off the cliff.
Like, thank you for participating, Tina.
Thank
Um,
you for
Look
doing
at all
this.
that green. She's good. Okay, so this is all these bacterial things. This is where
Mm,
people really freak out. But this is all your Lyme, Bartonella, Bordetella, Borrelia, Brucella. These are all Lyme and co-infections. E. coli,
mm.
Babesia, Legionella, all of these things that can show up. Um, Again, energy. Sometimes it's something that is like in your, how do I put this? In the energy of your cells because you inherited that. And if you just correct it, it just dissipates and it goes away. Sometimes it
So
is,
what, oh, sorry.
no, go
So
ahead.
if you were doing this, say, weekly, monthly, whatever you suggest, slowly, most of those things that are not super serious would correct over.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I've seen that happen. I have one client that their original scan was it was literally a train wreck. I'm like, oh my gosh. And some serious illness. And over the past 9 months, I have seen their scan go almost all green
Wow.
from just consistently running the scans and letting them do their work. Now, the other thing that they did, Tina, is they ran the inner voice, which is what you said, where you talk and
Hmm.
those tones to listen to because those balance your emotions.
Which
And
is important. Yep.
yeah, we know, I mean, 85 to 90% of all chronic illness or disease is based on emotional roots. So if we can correct that easily, energetically, with frequency, then we also see these scans straighten up because, a lot of this stuff is off balance because the energy of our emotions is stored in our tissues. and it
Hmm.
disrupts our energetic pathways, and it disrupts our lymph, our digestion. It disrupts our sleep, all the things that are part of our health, right? So they're doing both of those. They're doing the scans here, but they're also doing the inner voice, people that see big results.
Hey, Bren, I'm just going to interject and say I have to stop the recording in 2 minutes because
Oh, okay.
that
Yes.
way, just so you know.
Okay. Do you have to stop it because you have to go, or
Yes, I think, unless you
leave
could.
it running? I can stop the recording when I stop the whole
Okay,
thing if you
perfect.
want.
Yeah,
And we're not going to go much longer. I'm going to finish up here in just a sec.
okay.
But if you have to go, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Um,
Thank you,
so
Jen.
You're welcome, Tina. I'm so glad you were able to hop on, and all of you guys, Anna and Deanne and Pamela. I know we've been talking mostly with Tina, but I hope that you all are getting just a glimpse of what you're able to do, even with just this one particular portion of the
mhm.
scanner. If you catch last week's, we did talk about the Cepheid broadcasting frequencies. And to just to chime in with what Brent and Tina were talking about, if you had something that you were wanting to correct and be a little bit more aggressive with it, you could do a Cepheid playlist and broadcast frequencies to yourself or imprint your water, that kind of thing, which will help, correct these even
Yeah,
more so. So yeah.
awesome. So many ways to use the frequencies. So this one's just going to show you like the different fungus, human toxins, minerals, heavy metals. Some people freak out because it shows that they have like tobacco and nicotine. You don't. That's good. But the fact is that they eat maybe eggplants and tomatoes. They have nicotinic acid in them, so they show up. They're nightshade plants. They show up sometimes as nicotine. Um, and then, heavy
Why
metal.
would it show vaccines
Where's
red? Just
uh,
just up there.
right there? Okay, shedding.
Really?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Shedding is so real. As a practitioner during COVID, we were open. So I would see clients, and I had clients, my clients are like anywhere from 18 to 70. So I had a lot of older clients that had kids with kids. And their kids said, if you don't get the you know,
I heard
you
that.
can't
I
you
heard
can't get the
that.
grandkids. So they would come in and listen, this is wild. Every time they came in and saw me when they had one of the or a booster, I had bleeding.
Wow.
I have been past that for over 10 years. Like, you know what I mean? I'm 60. So that was not,
Yeah.
but it would happen every time. So I know and I can tell you 100% that shedding is real because I would have this event for like 2 to 3 days after and then be fine. But it would always correlate with somebody who had had those recently.
Wow.
So it could be that that energy, remember, the energy is still
Mhm.
there. And it would, over time, it would clear that up.
Okay.
And, there were a lot of things that were in those and venoms things.
Hmm.
But guess what? We have playlists in our scanner. We have frequency specifically for all that
Okay.
because the owner of Selects knows what's up. I love it. So you have minerals, heavy metals, you have molds, parasites. Many people freak out about this one because it says, "Yeah, oh my gosh, I've got crabs or I've got scabies or I've got whatever." No, no, no. Um, you might have something that has a similar profile because remember the reason that this comes up is because it's measuring its database against the frequency that it finds. So there's no way to have every single thing in a database, and
Sure.
it might be something similar. But again, you see how like almost everything corrected.
Balanced. Yeah.
Like, okay, all of you, like I know Pamela, you and Jen, are y'all like, wow, that's really good. Her skin's really good. So here you have human tapeworm. That one went to red. Again, could be that it was borrowed from the frequency to fix something else. Not a big deal.
Okay.
Wouldn't pay attention to it. I don't even know what that is. Does it tell you? Yes, it does. African eyeworm. Okay, how many times have you been to Africa?
Actually, I'm going in February.
But you haven't been yet.
Yeah, I
Okay.
haven't been yet.
So again, that's probably not that. I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah.
Irises. Now, do you see over here the variants? That's all of the spike protein. Okay.
Oh. Mm.
So, yours came up variant D. Uh, what is that one? Zero point 0.5, the spike protein. So it's likely that you have the energy of that because of shedding. Okay.
Wow.
But there are frequencies that will help with that. And if that keeps coming up, if it kept coming up, then there are protocols that you could use to deal with that as well. One of which is Dr. Artis's protocol using a nicotine patch. It kicks all those variants out of your receptor sites.
Hmm.
And it's been proven by Harvard to not be, um, a Harvard study showed that nicotine is not addictive. It's the 312 or more chemical additives that the tobacco company put into products to make them addictive.
Makes sense.
Of course it does.
Hmm.
Herpes simplex 2, that came up a double red again. That can be generational. It could be like being around other people. It could be something similar. So, like a similar cold, like the cold virus, like cold,
Okay.
things like that. But it also could be a generational thing because sometimes there are things that come down through our genetic code.
Hmm.
Here's immune variant. This is the AstraZeneca. That's the Johnson and Johnson.
Yeah. I know the words.
Yeah, yeah. So all those are the things that came up. Now, the thing is it going to let me do that? We could go back here and now the enhanced report. I'm not going to go through this, but this one gives actual numbers.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it's the same report, it's the same thing, but it's going to give you a little bit more specificity. So it tells you like
Previous. Okay, so on the right is the first
previous.
one.
Mhm.
On
And
the
then the
left.
print is after optimization.
Okay, cool.
And then here it tells you what those numbers are. So anything that's blue or green is pretty much within normal range. And then like 7, 8, 9 are going toward when it says increasing inflammation or too much energy in the system or something that's acute. And then diminishing is 3, 2, 1. It's going to be low functionality, under functioning, or chronic. So you'll get to see all of those. And
Cool.
this actually does, it has, I can't see if I could grab it. Uh, yeah, you could see. I want to make sure you could see all the numbers. But it's the exact same thing. It's just got the numbers instead of the red and green. Sometimes
Oh,
the
okay.
red green is simpler to look at. And then if you want to know like specific numbers, you could go to this other one.
Perfect.
So the next thing, so I'm just going to do this. I'm going to click here and I just click this little icon up here and it's going to email this to you. And now if I wanted to, I could put in here um, mine. I'm going to do that real quick. You'll see this. Just I'm showing you like if you ever needed somebody to look at something, you would type their email address in and just
Okay,
send, and it'll send you a copy. It'll send me a copy. Um,
cool.
and that way you'll have those ongoing, and it's really great. Now, I do not run this every day. You don't want to run it every day. It is too much information. I run it maybe once every week or 2 weeks.
Okay.
But that's the vital scan, and you can see how much other information you can get, and it's like literally having your own wellness clinic. So, you can look at what's going on in the body. It just gives you the information. And then there are other things like the Cephi, where you can specifically make playlists for, like Pamela said, for glaucoma for her dogs. I have
What do you
playlists.
mean by, I'm sorry, what do you mean by a playlist? So it will send out frequencies?
Yes. So I have custom playlists, and like this one, Safe Sleep. Um, it has energetic clearing, inner peace, and then these are some of the flower essences: Boab, French Violet, Pink Mulla Mulla, Angel Sword, and then Sleep Well and Energetic Shield. These are other frequencies. So it would send out this whole list of frequencies to whoever is listed here. So your name is under target, right?
Okay.
Or I could put it, if you were my client, I would have your name in here as a client, so I'd send it to you. But I have a bunch of playlists. So for instance, your liver.
So
Uh,
so in this program,
mhm.
you can pick which ones you want, or does it pick what you need?
Yes and yes. So you can create your own playlist, and that is what I would do. Is if I wanted to pick a playlist, I would do custom playlist, and then I would do the plus sign up here. I would name it, you know, Tina's special magic playlist. And then I would look here and I would choose what I want to go in here. And there's a list of frequencies.
Okay.
So there are all of these. The quantum reach, those are kind of stress, emotions, things like that. When you get into quantum frequency, and I do have list of all these, by the way. This is like the Rife, if you're familiar with Rife frequency.
Yeah, I have a Rife machine
Okay,
actually.
yeah. This is Rife. This is a lot of the Rife stuff. So you
Okay.
can click on any of these, bubonic plague, bursitis. There are several, you'll see that these big C's are fairly limited right here, but they are internal, external, blood, and basically tumoral. That's what those pretty much are. There's tons and tons of frequencies.
Brenda, can I
Yep.
ask a question?
Yeah,
Is there some place that lists all of those things that are under each of those?
there is in the files section of the AO Holy Vibe Tribe, which is our educational group for
Yeah.
anybody that does this.
Okay.
Uh, I have put in there I think it's called Cephi list.
Okay. Perfect.
And
Thank you.
it has each category and everything that's in it.
Great. Thank you so much.
And then quantum affirmations, these are some more things: depression, migraines, mastering stress. The quantum flowers, if you know anything about flower essences or flowers, they often affect your emotions.
Hmm.
So there's all kinds there, and there's a way to tell what they're for. There's in the system, it shows you what they're for. The chakras, you could choose those. And then I love this section, the homeopathics. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I am not a homeopathic expert. So I don't know much about this. I think Pamela knows a lot about it, right? Yes. But I would be very overwhelmed with all of that information. But with all of these, when you go to, let me get out of this, back and back here. Um, if I was to go to homeopathics, just go there, and I chose by symptoms. Then if I choose, you can see all of these different things that you could choose. If I chose, oh, let's do brain fog. let's say with brain fog. So these are the homeopathic remedies that help with brain fog.
Mhm.
But I don't know which ones I need because they could be different for me than they are for Tina or for Pamela or for Deanne. So I can hit scan and it's going to measure those particular homeopathic remedies. Did you see it change? It changed order. It's going to measure those against Tina actually. And so because she's the target up here.
Mhm.
So the phosphoric acid would be the most effective homeopathic thing for you to use and for brain fog. So if you were doing a brain fog playlist, you could do literally the brain fog right frequency, but you could also add the phosphoric acid in there too, and it would work synergistically for a playlist. We teach this.
Okay.
Then you would just play it. So, and you can imprint it. You can imprint water. There's a 20-second imprint. So you can imprint something. You can imprint water, jewelry, holographic stickers. I have holographic stickers that I imprint for clients. But you could also broadcast. So if you broadcast, it's just going to send that for 2 minutes. Or if you wanted to do continuous, it could do till you stop it, 2 hours, 1 hour.
That's something you can do while you're sleeping.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Mhm.
So how,
And we have
like,
sleep. I have sleep playlists that I do.
my husband hasn't slept for years.
Mm.
He's, it's terrible. Like so how do you buy the program? What, like,
So I love this. So you get everything, which is phenomenal. You buy the subscription to the software. So
okay,
it's 149 a month. You can put anybody in it. So you can put as many people in there as you want. Like I have a ton of people because I have clients that I treat,
yeah,
or I can't say treat, that I help.
yep.
But I have a lot of people in there. But you could put your family, you could put your pets, you could put your friends. You can do scans for clients. I mean, anybody can, or whatever. And it's there's no contract, there's no equipment you have to buy. You can use it as and see if it's, I mean, you could use it to say, oh, I want to try this for, 90 days to see if it's going to really help in any way. And if you decide at the end of the 90 days, I don't know that I could really say it was helping me that much, you're not tied down with anything. You don't have to keep using it. But if I can tell you this, if you use it, you're going to want to use it. I'm just saying.
And
It's like people say, oh, you can just try the oils and then you go out and I mean, I'm looking at my wall right now. I have my own little pharmacy over there.
mine's to the side of
I,
me.
yeah, yeah, we all do. We're all that way. But I consider the AO scan part of my wellness toolkit because listen, I can make my own homeopathic remedies. I can imprint pellets. I could do all this stuff with the AO scanner that I would normally have to pay somebody to do. As a matter of fact, when I have clients that come to me, we get to a point where I'm like, listen, I can keep charging you for doing these scans for you. And I do not do them for cheap because I have the expertise.
Yep.
But you could make this a lot less for you if you just got the AO scanner. You could use it on yourself, your family, your kids, your pets. And remember how I showed you how to send the scans? Like you put my name in,
Mhm.
they send me their scan and I don't have to charge them for running it. So it saves them money. And at some point, I tell them that because I'd rather them be empowered than me have to be in the scan business.
What, it comes with like instructions? Like
Well,
we went over a lot tonight and it'd be like,
yeah,
oh, if I had to
yeah,
do it
I know.
myself.
It's really cool. It comes with what's called basic training. And so there's this whole basic training. It's like 30-minute little segments on how to do everything. It's free. And then it also comes, well, it comes with us. You get me and you get Jen. And you also, get the other people that have been running it for a while too, that know, more about it because we have an education group for our, I'm careful. I know the word team kind of makes people kind of back off because they have a mental concept, but um, we want people to be educated on how to use the technology. And some people, they want to be practitioners and that's all they want to do. Some people, they don't want to try to learn any of this stuff. All they want to know is just tell me what to do that will help me. Like, how do I figure
That
out
would
what
be me.
to do that will help me? So we have that simplicity as well. And then we have people that they want to build a business. They want to help people get this and do that. We have a lot of young living people that they want to help build their teams. They want to help their teams that are under them. Whatever the need is or whatever the desire is, we have the education for it. And the cool thing is that you get to ask all the questions you want because we have a Facebook group, we do trainings, and I'm a teacher by nature, so I like to educate, you know. So we
Okay.
it's easy and it's I say it's easy. It's as easy as you want it to be and it can be as in depth. The original device was $38,000 and it was practitioner only. It was in offices and clinics. And when Solix decided to bring it to the public, they only had the inner voice. That was it. And then they decided, you know what, let's bring all of it to the table and people can decide what they want to use. And they said it's never going to go up no matter how much they add to what it will do. And they've kept that promise. I've seen them. So they've added a lot of different things that are really cool features and not increase the price.
Could it help someone with addiction?
Absolutely. I have an addiction playlist. Mhm.
And they don't, like I'd have to have their approval to do it,
Yes.
but then I can do it without him being in my household.
Yes. Yes. And with that, I would say if he would, which compliance is a little difficult sometimes when people have problems, but listening to doing the inner voice, like if he would send you a recording that's just 10 seconds long, you could do that scan that sends the music, the sounds that he could listen to that would help his emotions, which are often tied to addictions. But then you could also use a playlist that would be for that would help with the body part of the addiction, you know,
Okay.
like getting things out of the body, detoxing the toxicity of it, restoring things in the body that have been damaged, that kind of stuff. And so, yes, I deal with that too, with people.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Um, and that's the thing. One of the blessings for me is I can help my family. I have a mother-in-law that also has cancer. She has cancer right now. It's her third time to be diagnosed. Um, and she's not techie. And so, she had shingles one time and she just said she was in such pain. And I said, can I run some frequencies? And she says, you do whatever you want to, because she trusts me. And then the next day she couldn't figure out why she didn't hurt anymore. I'm like, I don't know, might have been those frequencies I ran, but who knows?
All
Um,
right.
we
Okay. Well, I'm definitely interested because I have two family members. I mean, me too, but I think I'm pretty healthy so far. But
the thing is, I will say this, we don't know what's coming. And so to me, this is a way to help strengthen our family,
yeah,
know kind of how to utilize this type of technology. and really kind of level our own health up, as well as those around us, so that we're as strong as we can be. And then once we know what's coming, I guarantee you, Solex will have something to counter it. You saw, what they had as far as the COVID stuff. So that's kind of beneficial too. I had somebody call me from Norway, got my name and number on Facebook, and she said, "I've got COVID. Can you help me?" I said, "Yeah." And so I worked with her for a day or two, and she was better.
Wow.
So quite a distance away, didn't matter.
Cool.
When you have loved ones that don't live right next door, that matters, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So I have family members that they're not really compliant anyway. Sorry, I got a tickle in my throat.
That's okay.
But they live too far away for me to help them with the things that I have physically. Like I
Right.
could I could help them with oils, I could help them with stuff, but they're not here.
Yeah.
So if you're interested, I would say, I mean, I'm sure that you're here because you know Jen, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So just get with her and tell you're interested, and she'll help you get started. And you get me too. Jen's under me.
Okay.
And so you have all of our support and help. And then if you need to know anything about homeopathy, you call Pamela right there. But I'm telling you, she knows her stuff. And we all rise together. We help each other, right? We have Jen's mom, Janice. She is our our holistic vet, and she knows how to do all the scan stuff for the pets too. So anybody that
Yeah,
has,
my 15-year-old, I don't know where she is, but she's got a heart murmur and she's on heart meds and she's slowing down. I mean, she is 15, but
listen, you should see the cat scan. It's a
yeah.
cat, literally. The same scan that you saw on you, you would see your cat.
Really?
Yes, and I have both my dogs in there.
Yeah.
I have a little dog that has Cushing's, and she does have to take the meds because things weren't working as quickly as we needed to, but I monitor her liver enzymes. And then, like on the 4th of July, I had great playlists going the whole time, and they were just chill. I mean, between peace and calming
Yep.
and playing playlist, they chilled out the whole time.
All right. I
So,
gotta get going too tonight.
uh,
I will. I'll connect with Jen. I'm leaving for convention tomorrow, actually.
yes, I saw that.
Yeah, and then um yeah, I'll get in touch with her in August because I got way too much going on to even look at it till first week of August. So I'll connect with Jen.
Yes, and hop on anytime. Now these are our 101 calls, but we do training calls as well for more specific things. And then we record them. We're going to put them on we have a YouTube channel. So I
Perfect.
promise you, if you decide to, try this out, you'll have all the training and support you need. It's fun. It's easy.
Perfect. I
Yep.
want to thank you so, so much.
So
Very
nice to meet
interesting.
you. And I'm glad you were willing to jump in the hot seat and let us do a scan on you. I don't know if you knew that you were going to be like have such a good scan, but good job.
No,
That's
no, I had no idea. Like I said, I feel good and I try to do things well, but you never, like you said, who knows what goes on inside your body. I do
no.
that when I do the oils. People go, I'm fine. I've been using whatever for years. And it's like, do you really know what's going on inside your body? Because you don't know until it surfaces.
Right. And yes, I mean, that's when I was diagnosed. I had had stuff going on for quite a few years that I just blew off as aging.
Yep, yep, right.
And
So you
yeah,
don't know. So that's why, yeah.
But if I
Very,
had had the scanner at that time, I would have known to look for something because I would have correlated symptoms with what I was seeing in the scanner and a pattern.
in a pattern. That's like you said. Yeah,
Yeah, in a
that's
pattern. I would have said, oh, this keeps coming up, and I'm actually having a symptom in that area.
that area
And then I would have gone and gotten, you know, some
checked earlier. Yeah,
earlier. Yep.
yeah.
So, well, bless you all. And Deanne, I'm so glad you were able to join us too tonight. I hope some things got answered for you. And if not, you know that you've got access. So just touch base with me. And
Thank
Pamela,
you.
if we need to do a scan for you after, just text me. Don't you have my number? Do you have my number? Okay, good. Then text me and let me know if we need to either do a scan together or just look at one. Although you probably know as much as I do, woman. Listen, she's a practitioner. She's super smart.
Not about scanning. I feel
Well,
like, but you clarified a lot of things for me
oh, good, good,
tonight. So
okay,
that's
Awesome.
very helpful.
good,
I
good.
just need to be more plugged in, and now I will be. I
Yeah,
am.
good. All right. Well,
Thank you very much.
bless you all. I hope you have a wonderful week, and may the Lord bless you and keep you and just make his face shine upon you. Like,
Thank you so much.
Thank
super.
you.
Thank you
God
so
bless.
much.
Bless you. Bye-bye.
Bye.